Hello, hello, hello. Nothing's working. Why is nothing working on my screen? Ha, my goodness, this is what comes from. Audio's working, I can hear myself, I just can't see myself. Bing bong, the video is wrong. Here, video. Is that it? Nope. Is that it? Nope. Is that it? No. Oh my goodness, is it ever going to show up? Perhaps not. Right, give me 2 seconds. I'm back. Hello, hello. It's just me though. No GME yet. Hi everybody. Wow, so many people here already. Thanks so much for joining me. Video capture device, got that. Window capture, need that. I need all the rest of this stuff on the go here. All these other things that are hidden should not be hidden anymore. Bouncing box, I'll keep that hidden. Viewer count, that should be showing. It is 47, awesome. Right, I think everything else is okay. And does need this one? Is this it? There we are. And that fits on the screen. Good job, good jobby, good jobby. Alright, you little jobby. Alright, so I got extra after hours on here. A little bit of a treat for you, right? We don't normally do this. We don't normally do all these sort of little stream stop-starty thing. I thought I was giving Casey afternoon off. No, never a rest! No rest for the weary. Tradespotting, no volume, mate. No volume? I see volume on here. Are you sure? I see volume there. I see volume here. And I see volume there. Are you sure there's no volume? Infinity, Jamie appears. Volume, see, so it's definitely no volume. How strange. Hello? Nope. Nope. Ugh, don't tell me I have to restart Streamlabs, that'd be a total nightmare. Can you hear me at all? It says very quiet. So somebody can hear me at all? No volume. Volume is good now. Wow, I am so confused. I didn't change anything. I can hear you. No volume. GME, no volume. Just it's a super chat. Daniel, is he going to say no volume? He is, isn't he? Are you saying no volume, Daniel? Oh, you're not saying anything. Just lovely. We hear you. Volume okay. Oh, great. So I think what you'll need to do if you can't hear me is stop being deaf. Okay, that's what I think you're going to need to do. If you can hear me, congratulations. You're not deaf, which it turns out lots of people are. I had no idea there'd be so many in one place at one time. I hear you good. Excellent. Well, I hear you guys. Low volume, stock volume. I mean, outage on the same day. Nuts. Also, volume is good. Tradespotting. You're good. Thanks. I am pretty damn good. Volume is fine. You're just speaking quietly. Yeah. I'm just speaking quietly. Shut up, alright? Get out of here. Get out of here. That's the volume there at max, and I can't do much about that. Pretty sure that was at max already, but if it isn't, it is now. Dude, that's so funny. What happened? I think you're just speaking into the mic better. Ha 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 ha. GME no volume. Yeah. What about that outage today? That huge DNS. Like, what's going on in America, eh? Have you done something to upset those Ruskies? Just being news enough to upset them, I suspect. So I just did not a live stream. I did a live stream earlier thinking I'm going to miss market close, which I did by a minute, right, or two maybe, because I was invisible temporarily. And why have I got to see? Sorry. You know, you're not here for the conversations, really. Maybe you are. Maybe the people that made it for this one are here for the conversations. But I was going to do the TA and talk about things, and give my impression on price action and the close, where we came in, where we went down to, and what we can expect to see ahead of tomorrow. So there's a video that people can watch. Now, when the jar on bottom right of screen, what the jar? That's where you. That's all all near. Oh my goodness. How's this for volume we're not leaving? Well, oh my goodness. Look, this is what it's for. And then it catches Bad Mama Jama's gold coins. And it knocks all those silvery coins out, because we don't want them. We want the gold ones. Is that alerts? Are you hearing that as loud as I'm hearing it? Are you hearing those alerts? Because that's far too loud. If you're hearing what I'm hearing, that's far too loud. Go away. Follow you. Still so effing jacked, mate. Gaston, you're next. It's impossible to unjack Gaston at this stage. Bad Mama Jama, that's an absolutely huge donation. What are you doing, mate? That's so huge. You gotta lift this whole channel up on your own, mate. Oh my goodness. Mama Jama, you're like my brother. Yeah, and I want to take that burden off your shoulders, my friend. You absolute legend. Thanks for everything you do. Gaston is jacked, everybody. If you don't know if you've not met Gaston before, he's probably the most jacked person in the room, and Gaston himself likes to get everybody else jacked. So if you stay in the room for a while, you're going to be absolutely jacked too. It's nearly guaranteed. Okay, right, so the long and short of it. What is the long and short of it? I was hoping to keep to some sort of structure. I'm going to start building that in. Not right now, nothing like what I'm hoping to do, But I'll do some TA and I'll chat and I'll keep things structured and within a little bit. And then next week I'll build in all the feedback everybody's given me on Reddit, where I asked for like really honest feedback with how I can give the people in the audience what they want. That's essentially what I'm asking for as well here. But like the back and forth is much easier, because like something, for example, that was said in that Reddit thread was you need to read more people's comments who aren't members or donating. And like I probably know, right, that even people writing that will know that I have no intention not to do that, right? I try to read everybody's message. It's just those ones, like that huge red one is obvious and comes with an alert, and it comes across the screen, as does Gaston being jacked all the time. Like, I mean, plenty of times I'll have read Gaston talking about how he's jacked without being the donation. And there's loads of messages like Kathy Wood should invest in GME. It's the future of gaming online retail. See, look there, I just did it. I just read out the giant bunny said. I just read out what he said, and that's not even what I'm saying. It's the giant bunny. So like, don't blame it on me, Kathy. Blame it on the giant bunny. And also, Kathy Wood, you should invest in GME. It is the future of online retail, gaming, and otherwise, like loads of other things too. Methinks that's I said that would happen yesterday. What did you say, you future teller? Apocalypse. Apocalypse. I got that back to front. Canada here, yes. Lots of Canadians in chat. I was thinking about my... hi, Jimmy. Hi, Epiphany. I have to fix this thing out in chat, because people using the games, I disagree with that entirely, Tradespotting. What are we disagreeing with, Case? Why are we disagreeing? What did I just say? Sugar, I can't scroll back and see what I just said. What are we disagreeing with, Case Guy? I can't remember. Oh, right, that I don't read out messages. Okay, that's no problem. Like, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that. Somebody doesn't feel that way. But at the same time, there was a significant number of people who've said it. So it's certainly felt by someone. Roger Powell, what happened to the live stream with Jackson TMI? Yeah, this is the thing. I mistook it. It wasn't a live stream. Jackson wasn't there. I perhaps didn't even... Did I say Jackson would be there? I don't know. I might have done, right, because maybe because I just like saying the guy's name, or maybe because I can't remember. Tradespotting, you have always answered my questions, so I disagree. Oh, thanks, Average Joe. And that is just there you go. There's a good confirmation of that. But like, there's the exception that proves the rule, and people feel like it to be so. So I want to make it so that people never feel like that. Stock split soon. I don't know. I don't know if that's what... Like, I only really recently realised last night as I was falling asleep. I'm answering 3 questions at once here, and I'm also trying to have a different conversation. What's new? I need to fix that stuff so that it's entertaining, or at least engaging for most people, and I'm endeavouring to do that even in this process of meandering towards telling the story I meant to do. It was TMI Houston, Short the Vix, and we did like a really good quality episode, like really, really freaking good. Like, you do know these 3 guys. Mass Investor, he's mostly AMC, and Short the Vix, and the 2 of them like are like AMC mostly, and Houston, Wade, and myself are mostly GME. Well, at least if you were like to draw a line, that would be we'd be on that side of it. And we talked on that stream for about an hour. I don't know, approximately an hour. It was a really, really good stream. It was really great to speak with them, and there was loads of knowledge in it between those four people. And things we talked about: GME, AMC, the macroeconomy, how things look like they're going to go, and answered really fun, cool questions. And it was a really good show. So it'll be coming out at some point on the Masked Investors channel. And I'd urge everybody to check it out because it's well good. And he's a super sound dude. And I think he's also doing a stream right now live. And I would have jumped on with him, but I wanted to do this one. And my nieces are coming at any minute, and I've had such a busy day. Posted that thing on Reddit because yesterday's live stream had less viewers between start and finishing than my first ever stream, despite everything we've been through from then to now. And it was like called the audience collapsing, and that's true. That's because that's what is happening on the statistics. It's been happening for like 6 weeks. So I want to address that by giving people who tune in more of what they want, so that they think like it's worth coming back for and seeing more often, more on a regular, and not for anyone to feel like they're doing it for some, oh, Jamie wants me to watch his channel, so I'll watch it. Nah, no, not I don't. I'm not looking for that at all. What I'm looking for is to actually be providing you with things so you're like, I don't want to miss that show. And obviously the first part of that is knowing when the show starts. So it's going to be on every day, right? When Rocky's better, the schedule will be better, and hopefully that's by Monday. If not, then I'll be building that in and starting his show at the same time, and it'll be a little bit pre-market, like maybe half an hour to 45 minutes pre-market, probably not as much. Then I'll have that show. We'll chat to people, do the TA beforehand, right? It'll all be the TA upon opening and looking to see what we do. And then for subsequent half an hour, we'll talk about that on GME and AMC equally, because so many of the audience are in both. And then it doesn't matter, like everyone will identify with me both as a GME holder. That's cool, but I can cover everything because so many people are in both. And I'll have a structure to the show. Yo, oh my god, Bam Bam Jamma, stop it. Bing bong. Well, I love bongs. You do love some bongs, you legend. Bam Bam Jamma, you're a legend. And I don't know how to respond to this. Bam Bam Jamma, you have to stop donating. You're a legend, but I worry. So, and also like, I do love that alert. Bam Bam Jamma, I love you. What did you just say there, Eddie? Oh, it's Case. Tradespotting. I feel that the whole Rensselaer debacle is what harmed the channel, and the only thing that will fix it is getting past it. Your subs keep going up, and it's brilliant. Yeah, that's true, and like I am past that, right? Well and truly past it now. It's just the topic came up again. Now that they all, like everybody knows what they're like, and I'm not interested in having a conversation anymore, regardless, whatever. Full stop. But that's all over, and I'm glad it's over. Yes, it harmed the channel significantly. But it's all over, right? So I can't focus on that. I have to focus on what people want. And it was, if anything, I'll look back on this period and say, hopefully, I'll say it was a good time to take a check with the audience and get what they wanted. Ideally, what everybody would want it, so that they were entertained and they could enjoy the show for as long as it went on. And everybody stuck with it. What is happening with these donations? Bam Bam Bing Bong. Well, I love bongs. You religion me. Another one. Jeepers Creepers McBobs. What's happening? Where is that one? Loads of people talking in chat. Why am I not seeing it? Is it? What's going on over there? Where is this? Daniel Assange. I'm seeing it there. Going to need an arc for this flood. Stop it, Bam Bam Jamma. Stop it, Bam Bam Jamma. I'm missing messages. Bam Bam Jamma super chat $50. Gonna need an arc for this flood. Daniel Assange super $5. Bro, well, I'm part Irish, I'm also part Jewish, and I don't part with a nickel or a minute if there isn't value. No play, watch and hear, bro, all value. No pity, watch and hear, value, all value. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't even want to mention that word. Thanks, Daniel. You're a legend too, and that is that. And move this out so I'm not bouncing off the screen there. Bouncing off the screen? That's not what you're doing. You're disappearing off the side of the view, right? And Sheesh, Daniel, yeah, you are Irish and Jewish. Well, that's why they made that joke then, not a part with a dinkle or a minute. Yes, that's like the Scottish joke about the Scotsman. There's quite a couple of them, right? There's one that's dead funny, one that's less funny. One's like if a Scotsman drops a 50p, it hits him on the head on the way down. Autopolitic, hold on. Autopoetic, hold on. I'm going to get that right first time shortly. We're not going anywhere. You're a legend and a hero, Tradespotting. Wherever you're doing to you, what does the flash on the rocky outcrop DI mean? It means that we've hit really low periods of volatility. It means, no, it doesn't. Sorry, pardon me. Hello, Jamie and chat. Yo, 1337 Gaming. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I've got to read these donations. I'll quickly answer Case Guy's question. The flash on the Rockies DMI, which is like one of the unique aspects about it, which is why it should be on TradingView. So if you want to like tweet at them like, please allow Rocky Outcrops indicator on TradingView, that might help him get it on there, and it should be. But like, you'll see on my Twitter page if you look at _GME_current issue and why it isn't, and like maybe if they looked at that tweet they would put it on. This indicator has this particular aspect to it. One is that this Evan, welcome to Chimp. Evan T, that's amazing, great to meet you. Nice headband, looking good with that headband, mate. Thanks. Pardon me. Really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Jeepers and Creepers, didn't expect this. Just jumping on. I didn't necessarily expect this. Thanks, that's great. Thanks for support, mate. There's things flashes in the background. What is it? Does that flash just stop? No, I've moved it off the screen. Right, I'll just get it up myself and look at it. When it comes down here and it reaches these levels, right below this line, 13 is it? On the index here. When it gets down to less than 13, the ADX changes to this bright blue color, and as you can see you get a flash in the background, and that flash in the background is because the trend here has got to its absolute weakest point. It's getting in now, this level here where it is. I can already tell you because I've seen it before, and let's look at it on a 4-hour chart, for example. This is in and around where, like, down there is crazy. Obviously it's different on the 4-hour what you see actually as it happens, but you can see there's a trend line somewhere in and around there, more or less. It's not actually clear, and we were looking at something there that was right on the money. So what you see is that when this ADX comes to these levels, it flashes to this color, the background flashes, and it's because the trend has got so little strength in it. That trend at the minute was the one that it's specifically referencing is the dominant trend, and that dominant trend is to the downside as represented by the DI minus, and even the DI minus is pointing down, and that's not what causes the thing to flash. As you can see, if you were to go back to, it's not right immediately obvious, so I'm not going to do it. That doesn't necessitate the flash, but though because it's happening, you can see that the trend that it was talking about, that time a dominant trend, it's got no strength behind it, no conviction, it's literal no suggestion that it'll persist. And when this flash disappears, which is when this indicator turns up again, and we will now find it so you can see that, turns up again and reaches beyond a certain level again, higher up, obviously the further it's come, more of a difference it makes because of other things. And you want to see this flash disappear. Right now there's a couple of different other ways of actually explaining that properly, and the mechanisms behind it all that Rocky would walk you through if you wanted, but it's all about what it means, what are the consequences of it. And in this instance, there's another donation. Wilfred Doomslayer, people on Reddit are using Bing Bong in the wrong context and it's making me grumpy. Hey, this is it, right? It's like such a clear and simple message. Bing bong, the price is wrong. This is so simple. If you want to make a rhyme out of it, cool, on you go. Let's hear it, right? We could even make a song out of it, I suspect. There has been a jingle, the Bing Bong, the price is wrong jingle, made by YOLO_short squeeze. So let's see what we can do. And if people are using it in another context elsewhere, I'd be like, yo guys, it's Bing Bong. You know, hear from a horse's mouth, this is what it is. Thanks for that donation. Look, somebody asked what the jar's for. It's for catching these things, yo. Look, and now I've lost some of them. They're honey puffs. So they are. They're honey puffs, and that's what I eat. I need some more honey puffs, please. Right. Please, Mother Superior, Can I have some more honey puffs? Man, stop making jokes myself. That's one of the problems here, right? And again, there I just did it again. Problems. Ha ha. Right. So what happens? What are the consequences of this, right? Well, when the flash disappears, the volatility enters the market. Prices tend to jump one way or the other, and then when they've made that extent of that move, which you can measure usually on price action, as you'll see, Rocky will walk you through it, either measuring the thrust strength on another indicator or measuring price action and the distance it's managed to go. With regards to retracement distances and or the size of candles and or bullish candlestick patterns, and you can put all that together and say at this point that strength of that has moved, it may that prices will then come back to where they were again. So and as you can see, like there's early, right, flashed wherever it flashed here, right, it flashed off, where was it, there, right, flashed off, volatility went off, prices went down, back up, and came back to the place they were, right, and you could do that through any of these, right, there again, you could do it there. That's the hourly chart, and it's great at signifying that you may be in for a large move in price action, and the way it works in context in this application will very, very well. So it's something to look out for in that sense, and Rocky will be able to fill you in much more about it. It's a wonderful world, he says, and he's totally right about that. Why are there so many donations? What are people saying here? Love the channel. What school did you go to in Ireland? I'm from Ireland, living in NYC now. From Comodosh. I went to a school called the it was the Christian Brothers Abbey Grammar School. That was a school I went to in Northern Ireland. But it's all one island in a town that's called a city of Newry, in a region which people call it Newry and Mourne. It's in County Down, and it's at the mountain of Mournes. When I lived in a little village called Restrever, at the mountain where the mountains of Mourne roll down to the sea. It's one of the most beautiful views in the world. Halfway up there's a little area called Fiddler's Green, which probably is one of the nicest views in the world, and all of that's through one of the oldest oak forests in the world, and it's a huge national park right behind the house, and then beach right in front of it. Now, it was quite a modest house, but it was a really nice place to live, and full of absolute fannies though everywhere. And the school was net negative despite being one of the best, and overall in Britain one of the best schools. Because of their teaching methods, they tended to have a lot of people that would then drop out of university. But like, I was like better than most of those people, and I was like, university was a walk in the park. Because it would be, because that's me, mate. I'm cool ass, and I'm smart ass, and I'm already way ahead of the game and stuff like that, and whatever. No, whatever it was easy. What are we talking about there? So what part of Ireland were you in, mate? Was it a similar place? Now, it seems now like I'm only reading super chats because I have to catch up with them, so like, sorry about that. People on Reddit using Bing Bong Wrong, they're silly. Hope this doesn't interfere with your focus on the new structured delivery. It hasn't. It hasn't. That is already up in flames. Varley, you became a member, mate. Thanks so much, buddy. That's awesome. Amazing. Thank you. And yourself and Evan T earlier. Comodosh, love the channel. That was that question about Ireland. Comodosh, you're from Ireland and now you're living in New York City. I want to live in New York City. I want to be an NYC expat from Maryland. We're not going anywhere. You're a legend and a hero. Wow, that was what you said. And a hero. Whoa, with the $50 as well. That's huge. Did you? Did I? Man, you guys are the hero. That's the truth. That's the whole message here. You guys are the heroes. Mama Jammy, you're such a hero. You're gonna need an arc for this flood. Yeah, it looks like it, mate. I need an arc already for all the dollars you guys are giving me. Get a big arc full of dollars. Look at that. Like 2 of every kind and that. And I mean every kind, like as in every like possible defect and whatnot. Oh, 2 of those ones. Oh, lovely. Lovely doubly. I'll eat some of them. I haven't done anything yet, have I? Jimmy, you don't need to change or justify anything. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll always be here to support you. Yes, I know, and you're all so good, and then so many of you, when even if the audience does narrow, it turns out that these are all like the best of the best of the best. It's incredible. And like, I don't ever, but that makes me feel guilty because then I put the burden on like a narrow group of people, and then users are also, but they maybe would be used even if there was a larger audience. So I don't know, right? I don't know how I feel about that. I'm guilty, but conflicted about the guilt, and then I don't understand how I feel. And that's not the point. From a practical perspective, I want it to be as good as possible, and I want everyone to appreciate it as much as possible. And I know people don't get as much out of it as I could give them. And I want to be doing that. Desperately want to be doing as good as I could be doing on this thing. And I know if I just put a little bit of structure around it, it could be really good for people. It would really enjoy it. It would really help them. I could deliver engaging content that was entertaining, it was educational, and it kept everybody on message and happy, despite what price action might be doing. The channel reminds me of what it must have been like for a 15-year-old girl I once met by accident from Tinder. I had no idea what TA was before May 11th, and my whole world changed, and I learned things I'll never unsee. It was an accident, governor. Hands up, it was an accident. That's a huge donation, Daniel. Can we kill your boots there? Welcome, Spider Monkey. Paul B's upgraded to Spider Monkey. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Paul. Jack, welcome to Chimp. Holy goodness, everything's happening. It's all happening. There's even more donation like things to come on the screen. This is incredible. I didn't expect any of this. Oh, Ape Huddle. Thank you. And I'm seeing it there, and I'm seeing all the notifications delayed on this screen. I see now. Thanks so much, Wolfic Doomslayer. People on Reddit will learn how to speak Bing Bong. It's a very, very small language with only the most necessary of vocabularies, and it doesn't include any numbers. It's because what's the fucking point, right? It's just Bing Bong. The price is wrong. Any additions to that are just like the evolution of language. It's perfectly natural, and I can't expect to control it, nor can I expect to control my identity, which is something I touched on in the last stream, and is what I want to focus on with this post that I put on Reddit asking for feedback. Is not just how great I am in that, which I know I'm fucking ace, right? That doesn't matter, right? That's always going to be that way. It's about how I put out these shows and whether people like them or not. And if they don't like that part of my personality, then they can fuck off, because that's not changing. Not for any bastard. But what I will do is incorporate loads of everyone's feedback so that they can get the best possible experience. If you don't like me, basically you can fuck off. Otherwise, I want to make the content for you and as good as possible. And I know that my identity is as much in your mind as it is in mine. What's real will be... any interactions we have will be based on your impression of me rather than my impression of me, and as such, similar, your own impression of yourself is to me, would have to be irrelevant, right? Because I can only go on what I know of you. So how could I expect anything different in return? And as such, I want to negotiate the best possible impression of me as I can. And I'd be quite direct about saying that's what I want to do with you, even if you really, really like my content. I really want to make it as good as possible for you. Every one of you is individually, and then whatever that is cumulatively. And I want to do that. So that's my approach, right? And it is obvious, isn't it? That's what you should do. Is that not just obvious? And but there's some things I won't ever do, wow, these people are donating and subscribing memberships and so much stuff. Bring Bong Citadel will become deed. Ryan, you can't be Scottish. How can you say that? We will become deed. Smash the like button. Wow, if I get likes as well right now, the likes on top, that would be incredible. Thank you very much. Stephen! 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 Did you just give him money? Stephen, you're going to have to ask me something. I feel like I'm in debt to all of you, right? I am in huge debt to you guys. That's the truth of this. And it doesn't go the other way. It really doesn't go the other way. Value I put out is stuff that you have to manifest in your own lives after it reaches the microphone, goes through the internet and reaches your ears. You still have to act upon it to manifest benefits other than the learnings, which will then by osmosis slowly hopefully improve your life if you trade, which you do, right? Because why else are you here? And if you don't, then it's good. You could do it. It'll change your life. I can help you. Thanks for stopping by. If you don't know these things about me, what happened with your most important DD so far ever? Since then, nothing has happened. Has nothing happened since then? When was our most important DD ever so far? It was on a daily chart, and the price was about 100 and... We said that the prices are about 158. They'll go down to 158, at which point the downtrend will end, and things will be looking up, and there could be a cascade in success in future. And since that point, prices went straight to exactly where we said they would go, and then have since gone up, nearly done the full retrace, gone to exactly where we pointed out they might take a break at the 0.885886, and then retrace to what we've covered since as a perfectly natural pullback. What happened in my most, it was in response, is the price did pretty much the opposite what the vast majority of market participants were afraid would happen. At exact point in time, this video came into the world that said, here's two happy dudes that are happy for a reason, and we showed you the technical indicators that said why prices were going to do exactly what they did. I don't know, is that like an asshead question? Because if that's an asshead question, mate, you absolutely can fuck off. Or if this is a serious question and you're actually asking, like, thanks for the answer. Was that you, Josh, that asked that? Okay, sorry. No problem. If that was you that asked, sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I just, I get asshead questions a lot. Yeah, so far, and ever since then, nothing has happened. Okay, well, let's negotiate on this too, right? Like, you did ask that in a bit of an ass about face way, and I answered it in like a bit of a way that's maybe over the top, so we both let ourselves down, but also now we may be better friends, or maybe fucking hate me, perfectly acceptable, but that's how it is. That's the answer. When I'm sad, I watch your stream from 18th to the 5th, 2021, and then I'm not sad. Awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing that there's content that I've done that can make you feel that way. Fuck yeah. And it's not trivial. You're talking about when you're sad, and I know that's quite a concise, curt message to talk about those things, but you mean it, and you put the Scottish heart emoji at the end, so fuck yeah, mate. Love you, buddy. Thanks. That means a lot. Right, yeah, so I was just annoyed. I don't need to go through all the different emotions every 5 minutes. I'm not like that, right? Haha, yeah, as if, right? So, who said what? No, it's no problem. It's all cool. Haha, it's all good, he says. And it is all good, so we're all good, right? Nobody needs to go over and above sticking up for me. No worries. And that's all cool. Everybody's great. And we don't need to be like whatever either. It's amazing to see you and Rocky raise each other up and how you've been supporting him while he's ill. I'm very new to both channels, but and to trading in general, so I appreciate you both do. Wow, Mark's a good lad. If that is you, Mark, then certainly are a very good lad. That's dead nice comment, thanks very much. And I probably missed loads of other comments that people are pissed off on me with. Krista K became a member. Stephen Kimber donated that. Wow. It's Hank Scorpio became a member as well. Yo, Scorpio. Hank Scorpio, not Hank. What? Hank. This is a normal name, Jamie. What do you like, Hank? What was that like? I was thinking the last name Scorpio was real rather than it be like... Anyway, sorry. Drop it, Jamie, a like, everybody. Thanks very much. Sleeping Snorriax. The Snorriax. BH is gamble in the 69. That's a good gamble. Good luck to you, mate. I'm going to keep an eye and see what happens. What? That's what I keep telling everyone, Rocky Outcrop. Mark's a good lad. You're a good lad, Mark. And cheers, buddy. I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm glad that we're providing some value for you, and we're going to keep doing that, obviously, no matter what. And hopefully I can structure this show in a way and negotiate my identity with yourselves, i.e. what you would like to see, and then I'll be you want, while at the same time still being me, and still be authentic, still be who I am. Because like a lot of people find me from ranting, and I'm still that person, and a lot of people find me from the TA, and I am that person, eh? And like that's not going to change, and it's not my impression of myself. It's just I know who I am now. I'm 37 years old. Like I've got a general idea of it, eh? And I've been smacked around the head enough times because of it. I understand what it is, but I want to make it so that the way I come across, the way I communicate, and the structure of the content that comes out there suits you as best as is possible. And everyone who's here right now, you're the people who I'm talking to. You know, he's gambling his 100 and he's on a heist with $100. BH is off. This is what you call BH's little gamma squeeze. Wolfic Doomslayer's joined the treasure hunt. Whoa, who's going to stop you now? I know this is the wrong channel, but you guys have any good AMC GME videos with a good explanation of when the squeeze will happen? On why the squeeze will happen? Well, I've got like it's an Eli 5 MOAS explained, right? The road from whatever it was at the time, like $110 or something, $120, can't remember, from that price to $10 million or something, and around that level, and that's like, regardless of the topside target and how you feel about that, it's an explanation of some of the rough outlines of the dynamics that, I would go as far as saying make it inevitable that it's going to happen. And so that was like the approach it came from. And then I've also got like a survival guide, which is like It's quite obvious what that is as soon as you start watching it, and they're both good videos that you might like to watch. So it's not the wrong channel. Yeah, so I've got that, and Rocky Outcrop's got other videos. They're very highly focused on the TA aspects of big moves, and he would define it as the technical indicators will come first before any of the moves. And so if you're to say what happened to chicken or the egg, well, it's the TA will always be the thing that defines the next moves. And so why? And I'd agree with him. Once we go back and we analyse everything retrospectively and we say, well, what caused it? Somebody will pick up a brick and say, this will be it here. And I bet you Rocky or I will be able to pick up, be able to look to a thing and say, well, you see on that brick, it's actually got like this here corner chipped off it, and it's like that colour on that side. And like if you lift it up and feel it, you can see it's actually way heavier on this side of it. And like look where it was lying, and so this came from this explosion over here, and we'll tell you what it was, and we'll probably tell you what it was ahead of time, and we'll probably say this is why a move is happening, and it'll probably be something like that video. It'll sound like that video we did where we said this is our more important D to date, and it will. And if the prices do go up from here, and this is the bottom of an ascending triangle, right? Let's draw it on. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches. There's the top of it. Let's make that horizontal and say it's in with these body closes and these two wicks. You get up here again. That'll be the fourth touch on the top side, right? And what is clearly a bullish pattern. And if you get there and that's the low that takes us to the top, that takes us to the measured move, that'll be an increase of price of what is that? I mean, it's like 400 or 500% or something. And people say like, well, why is that your most important DD video so far? I'm not going to get in it, Josh, anymore. But like people do think that. They will think that. When that video was shared, people didn't have a positive response to it. But if you don't like me, you'll understand. If you do, you won't understand why that is. And that's perfectly fine. First time I watched Saved by the Bell, I thought it was stupid, and then I was like, hey, actually there's kind of something in this. Or I'm not saying what that is, but like same can be said for like that 70s show, right? The first time I watched that, I was like, this is absolute pish. Then a couple of shows later, I was like, this is actually quite good. It's Barry, I could watch some of this. And it's a similar thing, right? I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, so let's go into a new conversation. What was it? Where rules for chat game? If you go to the link in the description, you can see on the Streamlabs stream where I'm also streaming. You can go in onto that one. You can watch me there. You can donate there, and it's like no fees. And there's like loads of other stuff on there. There's like leaderboards, all the different commands that people can use to play games, and everything's loads of stuff on there. But you have to follow the link. It's in the description. I'm there streaming live right now as I am here. And welcome to Chimp, Tommy, Bearman, Tommy, my old man, Tommy. You Irish Tommy. Welcome to Chimp. Welcome very much. That's a dashing headband you've got there. Matches quite a lot of other people's dashing headbands. You're a very fashionable chap. Just use exclamation mark before the command. You get points for watching and commenting over time. And commenting over time. The rules are, if Streamlabs hates you, you lose, and if Streamlabs loves you, you win. Yeah, that's essentially what it is. And Streamlabs itself is like, is it benevolent? Is it nefarious God out there? Rah! Gamble all. Tradespotting. New spider monkey you missed. Awesome, thanks for telling me. A new spider monkey? Wait a minute, was it you that did it? No, it's it's I don't know. I never know if it's a capital I or if it's an L, so I don't know. So I kind of make a noise that's like both, like hello, or maybe that was the same thing with the T, and now this is a new one, and it's a different one. Oh no, now I'm confused. Thank you, there, very much, especially for going with Spider Monkey. Huge support. Thank you so much. Nobody wants to hear me talk about that, apparently, though. That's another feedback. They're like, Jamie, I don't want to hear about it. I support you by doing these things. I'm not interested in hearing about the donation on a stream, and neither is anyone else. But I don't know. I still feel like, well, what am I doing here if I'm not thanking people for doing these? I'm still conflicted with that. Maybe it is something I need to learn. Never change yourself, Tradespotting. But the feedback I've read is good. It doesn't need to change you. You as well, good. Yes, cool. This is what I'm saying. I want that kind of feedback. I really do. And I am not I'm quite emotional, right? But I've got very thick skin. You can't say anything to me, and if it's exceedingly mean, it's likely to be funny first to me, and then secondly, I just think you're fucking funny. But if there's some critical value in it, then I'll take it on board and use it. And especially if you can just be frank and upfront and use your true feelings and tell me, look, this is the way it is, and not pull any punches, I'll be able to like pull the punch myself. I'll see where the value ends and that, and be able to put that together with loads of other people's feedback and come up with something that like at least meets you halfway. And Stefan F, you do that for me already. Tradespotting. Jamie, can you please make a separate tutorial for every indicator you like to use? Yes, you said this the other day and you reminded me in that particular way. You're a very good lad. I will do that then. Okay, you're asking me like that. I'm going to have to, am I not? Right, and I can do that within the new format starting next week, right? There'll be the pre-market. I'll be doing TA. I'll then, as market opens, do the TA again as prices are moving across the things that we like to look at, AMC and GME in particular. And I know that means that I'm focusing on the same thing Rocky focuses on. I'm doing things at the same time Rocky's doing them. So like, bear in mind that I may edit this in order to dovetail best with him. But we both do like the fact that we can both raise a separate audience. You know, we both appeal to different people. And I know people like to watch both. They can do it at the same time. It is possible with technology. It's amazing. Also, there's value in both. And I'll be making clips, and so does he, and so you can flip between two and watch different things, and take it as it suits you. And we'll both build up audiences that suit each other with slightly different cultures, I imagine, but also like massive overlap, which will help everybody. I can only think it will. So yes, bear in mind that, but that is one thing. And within that new structure of the show and stuff, I'll be able to do things like make clips. So in the morning do that, then go to chat, talk to you all, then say do like a live tutorial on how I use one indicator, which then everybody can walk through, like see as I'm using it, doing it, like a little bit of teaching. And if you want to watch that section, great. And then after that, I'll take that clip that I make and edit it and make it like a good video. And maybe film extra little bits in and around it, or improve bits that I, quite maybe get something like a little bit inaccurate live or something, or I see it later and I'm like, well, I didn't mean it like that, and it comes across whatever, right? Make it better so that people appreciate that I'm putting in effort, and at the same time make it better so that it's easier for them to get the best out of it. I'll do that, and then have those clips for you, Stefan, on the best indicators I think about for trading anything all the time, forever, and then hopefully that'll become some sort of body of content that people can use and is valuable. It's amazing to see you and Rocky read each other up. Oh, that was such a nice message from Mark's a good lad. Yeah, we do read each other up. It's very much appreciated. He's the best brother in the world. And there's Tommy joining up. Tradespotting. I just wish I had the brain power to watch you both stream simultaneously. Ha! So much knowledge from you both. It's invaluable. Yeah, it's true. And there's enough hours a day. That's it, between us putting it out. Why not, right? Maybe I combine Curran Brothers TA channel, Tradespotting, a merger. Can't do that. Can't. That I have to go. I have to. If I have to. The synergies between us are so great, and our identities, while negotiated with yourselves from each other, are so distinct from ourselves and our own lives, and recognizing them. We've got so much of a symbiotic life, and do so much together, that this little distinction is actually quite important, and it can grow and be like addition to both of our what we do. Everything I do that is one step slightly different from Rocky, and that he subsequently also does, that's one step subsequent to the other side of something, will provide, and sometimes a different perspective, sometimes a different side of the trade, some not with GME or AMC, but and then other things, and then also different people will identify more with us, and then like those two cultures can help each other the same way Rocky and I do as brothers. Then hopefully our two communities, despite sharing so much as brothers do, they'll also have like those distinct differences, and they'll help each other, and our communities will help each other's, and we'll both get better and better at everything, raise each other up. Like, that's the whole game. So that's what I'm thinking. Not combine stream just to combine channel, but choose who to and when to be there. No. Never. Tradespotting. I just want to say that I think you and Rocky have great chemistry. It's a shame you all don't at least do one show together per week. Maybe like an important day like Friday. That'd be a good idea. Or we could do something that's like on a Saturday and it's like live and kicking. It's like a Saturday morning 1990s UK themed style game show style update where we talk about all the TA. We do like an interview with somebody who's involved in the whole sphere. We do like a game show where we give away like bing bong t-shirts and stuff. Then we go back and do more of the TA and talk about things in the week coming up. We give like a debate section where we both like have an argument for a case. It doesn't have to be, it could be against what we actually believe and whatever, and then do that. Maybe pick a stock of the week that we like to talk about and have something together. We definitely would like to do something together with that way, so it could work. Holy crap, keyboard donated a whopping $2.99. Thanks very much. Keybo, thanks. PD's become a member. Awesome, thanks so much, PD. Missing things here. Thank you so much, PD. And thank you again, Lur. If I missed what you did, probably explain to me which one it was, the name, and I've probably missed it now. Tradespotting. Do you remember in the middle of the drinking stream, Rocky ran down the street to see if you were still alive, only to run back and finish up the stream? I don't remember it at all because I was unconscious. I do remember, though, not unconscious. Yeah, well, I was very drunk. I remember, though, the next day I walked up to Rocky to see him and saw, like, he was in a better state than I was somehow. And he had also got the booze down at mine, finished it too. And I was like, well, you go, there's Rocky. That's it. And it's a nice memory, yeah. But it wasn't all that long ago, Shippers Unicorns. This feels like it because of the ups and downs we've been through. Joshua Yingling, in your opinion, what do you think the tipping point will be? These hedge funds seem to have an abundance of ways to manipulate the stock. Well, there's lots of different ways of looking at that. You could say here, where they turned off the buy button, like, clearly there was a reason for that at the time. Like, the collateral needed to support their positions, either it be their position in GME or elsewhere, was so tight at this point. And if that happens again, when we're on the teetering on the brink of some potential drops elsewhere, it could be that their other collateral will be squeezed. You know, it'll be reduced in the amount that it contributes to their overall margin. And if that happens, then it could be something unrelated to GME that triggers a squeeze. It could be just other things that these assets these companies hold. It could be GME going above 343 on the weekly and then taking a big move up and breaking all these zones and going up beyond. And then in order to support a position against GME, you're going to need to raise so much more collateral. And so in those two ways, you as the enemy could be squeezed. And on both sides of those, there's so many like nuanced and things, and maybe left field type of things that could happen. Like, for example, it could be a completely different stock. It could be something that like years ago was shorted. You know, it could be true that something that was shorted the better part of 2 or 3 decades ago, and has been squeezed in such a tight little position on it that it itself is minuscule and nothing in the overall market, but it has come to a point where its shorts mean that it triggers a liquidation on one bank that triggers another, that causes like collateral across the markets to start being squeezed. And then you see things like the fire sale starting. And if that happens and everybody knows the message, which we're trying to put out there, I'm screaming with every bit of energy I've got to as many people as listen, that GME can provide a safe haven in those moments, and if we all get together in there, it could make us incredibly wealthy. So like the squeeze could also come from that narrative, making it to enough people. There are billions of people in the world, you know, less than any number that it was significance hold all of the power. So there's no chance that anyone you possibly speak to should not be on this trade or on your side of the story. There isn't, unless they themselves are cynical to the point that they've given up on even trying to defeat the hedges, which is natural because there's always going to be people like that in a war. You know, it's the natural consequence of going on in the first place. And now this is the argument you put back to them is, we didn't start it. So anyway, right. So what were we answering there? I can't remember, but I think so. What, in my opinion, the tipping point. My opinion is that my own opinion itself is completely worthless. This is something you might hear me say about anything, right? If you ever hear me express an opinion on it, that's worth shit, right? Your opinion's worth more, especially to you. My opinion means nothing. Couldn't mean less. But the tipping point could be any factor. It could be practical. It could be literally could be just this narrative, right? It could be the strength of emotion in some message that somebody says to somebody when they're passing on the story of what you could achieve by buying GME. That's still not reached enough ears and never will, because of the ability it has and the things it could do. They seem to have an abundance of ways to manipulate the stock. They do seem to, don't they? But there will always be a reliance on their collateral to support their overall position, and their portfolio margin can be squeezed, is being squeezed. It's impossible to fit 140% of a company's shares short into 100% of all available shares. Even if some people sell, it's literally impossible. That squeeze that you would see from that is nothing like what you've seen so far in the charts. It's way, way different, right? So like, when people realize that, and when people see stuff coming, approaching those levels, like the 343 in the weekly, that's going to be big news by the time that happens. Hopefully people will understand how important it is. Those levels up and above, it doesn't need me to start telling people when prices are above $540 that this is a whole new all-time high. This whole thing can go again. So there's so many things, right? There's so many things that we can do, even if they've got ways of manipulating the stock. And the truth is, the ways that they've got, right, they cycle through them. We've seen them. We've learned all about them. We can see that they're coming to a head, many of them. And we know that if we buy and hold enough of it, eventually we'll own many, 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 many times the company, never mind the float. And we can also tell there's evidence out there that says that perhaps this thing has been shorted up to 850%. I saw that recently, like really strong evidence to suggest that was the case. And I believed in that DD, and I've not had since not seen anything to discount it. So it makes me think like, and sometimes I think we don't need anyone else. We already own the company. And then that doesn't matter. It's irrelevant because there's still time for people to get this at a bargain price. The more people that buy it, the merrier. And, and it is going to go on to be the biggest company in the world. These people will join anyway, so why not join now? Why not speed the whole thing up? Also, like somebody asked earlier about stock splits, and this is coming from the memes on Twitter about Ryan Cohen, which I was seeing when I was falling asleep last night. This is what it is, and the other theory, or else the same one, which I'm related to this, is to do with the sushi swap and that aspect of the NFT. And somebody saying, "Oh, it's stock splits," because, and it's like, well, none of that's really that itself isn't necessarily going to be what triggers things. And everyone likes the hype, and everyone likes these little stories, and everybody would love to puzzle things out from these tweets and get somewhere from them. But there's been a lot of those now to a certain degree, and they've not been referencing directly the MOAS. They've been talking about perhaps still extreme price action, but most of them have been along the lines of moves that you could see things making from here have been coming in and around the same time as those sort of tweets. And now I've seen Rocky do this before, where he has traced out across the price action where the important tweets have come in from those people who are most influential in the community and stuff. And we've also, as you've probably noticed, it just speaks for itself, the TA where I talk about where you should, this looks good and that, and I've got these, and we've got these together. But actually it was here where most people who know about my TA saw it, because I said it's somewhere around here and that, and then we went there, and so why am I talking about that again? Oh, because the TA, because of these things, and we called these lows. And why was I talking about that though? Because I don't know. Anyway, lose track again. That's what happens. Jamie speaking for myself. I live. Thundering. What are you saying, Thundering? Just ruling in your opinion. Oh, I'm away now. Probably missed loads of chat answering that question. Let me scroll down and then go back up. Dan Dawson Tradespotting. Can you go into that more? What your experience shows you that you couldn't cover 140% short because there's only 100% shares. That has always been my gut instinct, but other than VW, I have no point of reference. Right. The VW point of reference is relevant for lots of reasons and irrelevant for others. People use it as a determining factor ahead of time. When, if you're to understand how absurd that would be, because you're saying it's happening something for similar reasons, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen in the same way. But Volkswagen squeeze didn't happen because they looked over their shoulder and they're like, oh, you see that previous squeeze that was at the time was the biggest squeeze, and yada yada yada, and this happened, and so we're going to go like that. No, it wasn't that at all. It was much more to do with like liquidity, to do with the collateral, and to do with the particular way that it was announced that Porsche owned so much of it. The way that was announced, and also the way that squeeze ended, was in fact a quite soft and managed event. That this is not going to be. That guaranteed this won't be the same as the end that was managed through, because they anticipated it all beforehand. They made these moves on purpose, and nobody saw that one coming. This one is completely different, and so much of us are in on it. It isn't Porsche and the German government, it's us, and we're angry. We're really angry. So that's different. And when it comes to the point of, and I say this often, like, and maybe other people don't understand what I'm saying, like, you can't fit 140% shorts into 100% of a company, because you have to cover those positions. If the company doesn't go to zero, then you have to cover those positions eventually. You're not supposed to say, oh, we'll just let the failures to deliver take care of it. Well, let's focus on the first part of this, right? There aren't enough shares to cover the 140% short. So if they're forced to cover, there's going to be 40% of the 140% are going to be like, well, there's nothing for us to buy, and we have to buy. And so as it comes to like 1 or 2 shares available, their literal entire wealth is on the line, right? You can't trade without and go short without having some backstop, and whether that be right back at the lender of last resort, or somewhere in advance of that along the value chain with regards to insurance or collective organisations or their responsibility, if how that's deemed to be, or how the law what plays into it. They will never have been allowed to do what they're doing if it wasn't that they were providing some form of redress. And the risk that they take by entering the market is a partnership between them and the people who underpin it, and in this instance it's the Federal Reserve. And so if it comes to it, they'll be the determinators, and they'll say yes, and for anything to keep working, they have to let the market dynamics take effect. And that is that 140% is more than 100%. So if you have to have this fit into this, because that's what it is. It isn't this, eat that, right? Well, the buys don't buy, the longs don't buy the shorts. We already bought. It's the shorts have to buy out of the longs to go disappear. And even if all of them bought one, there's still not enough left for everyone else. So the price goes up. So this is the dynamics of the squeeze. Now there's like more complicated ways of explaining it, and there's perhaps simpler ways of explaining it. But like 140% doesn't fit into 100%. 850% even less so. So it's all about drawing these two things together. And when it does, there's going to be like, this is exactly why Gaston is so jacked, right? And will never be unjacked, because how are you supposed to fit? You can't unjack Gaston, just like you can't fit 140% into 100%. You can't do it. And people think about like overfilling something, right? And all these extra things. These are things that they can't put back in the box, right? Literally can't put it back in the box anymore. Bing bong, sorry I missed the stream. Was having a wee picnic by the river, my lady. Hope you're all well. What a lovely little story there, Dee. You were out doing a little picnic by the river too. What? Were you in a picnic, or were you in a painting there? Aye. In some sort of, you were on a postcard. Good one, Dee. Good to hear you're doing well. Hope you and your partner are enjoying the weather and the sunshine. Whoa, Gaston. Wilfric Doomslayer. Hi, Dee. Yo, Dee. Yo, Wilfric. Tell me all stars. Krista K. Can you confirm free account on TradingView is a great tool? You can pull up Jamie's current chart. 2. The only point I'll pay is probably once trade and pays for the full pro subscription. Yeah, you don't need to pay for it. You certainly don't need to pay for it. And I'd advise everybody, doing all stars included, and everybody else, that they get huge discounts on Black Friday on TradingView, and so you should certainly wait until then. You should do. And like, TradingView don't sponsor me. I think they should. I think it would be well good, they're worth their while. It doesn't have to be much, it'll provide value ahead of them paying me. But if you want to tweet nah, don't focus on that. It's about Rocky and getting his indicator on there. So if you're going to tweet TradingView, that's what you tweet about. Very much enjoying it. Thanks, bud. You're welcome. And you don't have to do anything for me. But showing up tuning in, giving me feedback on how I can make it better. Really appreciate it. Thanks. Does he literally outline this intention, or is it just what you interpreted? Biggest company in the world. Natural friend, thanks. Does he? Frank and the natural friend talking. Yo, Frank, how you doing? Or is it just what you interpreted? No, I do think we're going to be the biggest company in the world, and I think like that'll happen regardless of I think that'll happen regardless of. Well, it's not regardless of, like, and it's hard to at any stage separate the two things because so many people have bought this because of the MOAS. A lot of people bought GME and have since don't exist anymore, and those shares are literally never going to be sold. There's, what am I even talking about? I'm answering a question that somebody else was asking somebody else, and imagine what it is. Any thoughts on the Public Archer, the AMC, Tradespotting, Rocky Outcrop? Totally not the FBI. It's not the FBI, I promise. I'm going to quickly use the bathroom here, or maybe end the stream, but I haven't done any TA yet. Have I done any TA? I have to do that. I'll go and use the bathroom, come back. I joined TradingView because of you. Cool, yo, nice one. Well, then they should be sponsoring me, right? Because it works both ways. Thank you, Jimmy. I'm learning so much from you. You're a legend. You're a legend, Kyle. You're a legend, Kyle. Thanks. Ape Huddle, did you get a chance to read up on Dave Lawler's new The Terminal platform? No, I didn't, Ape Huddle. Jeepers, where did you expect I was going to get time to do that, for goodness sakes? I did Rocky Outcrops, I did the Tradespotting subreddit stuff this morning, then I was on doing Rocky Outcrop stream, like, literally as I was writing messages there, and then went live, and then after the Rocky Outcrop stream, and even in order to do that, I had to, like, hug my nieces who had just arrived and then leave them, run away to do that, then afterwards, come back, pick up some milk on the way home, feed the cat, then deliver the cat to my dad, immediately like run back from that. That's a hard job, putting the cat in his box and deliver it. Run back. In the meantime, respond to D-Law's comment on the Reddit thing to say thanks so much for taking the time and consideration and the effort you put into the reply there, and to endeavour to repay him in kind. Got back here immediately on thinking, right, I have to quickly get on and organise this stream with TMI. Thought, shewers, I'm going to be letting down the audience because I promised everybody here on this channel that no matter what, whatever happened, I'd always do a market close stream. So then was like, sugar, right, I have to do that. I can't not do that. I have to, I've promised. So I did it, and squeezed it in. And then got that out, and now here I am just to make up for the fact that I've done all the TA in that stream. It'll be the same thing you're going to see now because the markets were closed, so I'm actually not going to do it, so you'll be able to see it there. Anyway, point being, markets closed in around where I said they would, and things are all the same, all that TA is the same, but I will finish the conversation and then quickly go to the bathroom. That was, anyone know how to get my free DRS? I'd like to get them on for my stock. RBC investing wants $50 per share for a DRS. Oh my goodness, what are you just doing there? I don't even, am I on the same planet as you? What did you just say? No worries, buddy. Who's that DRK? What did I do wrong? Sugars. Thanks for taking the time to chat today, Jimmy. No problem, actual friend, man. I always want to, eh? And so, is D-Law on Tradespotting? Yeah, he is. He's on our side Tradespotting. Responding to the comments in there. Give him a shout. He's a legend. He's a dead nice guy. And it turns out that he's like, no, it doesn't turn out like anything like it, when he was speaking about it and they were talking about the thing, and it was like a negative connotations came across because it was seemed to be like on super stonk at the same time and being and whatever, and that wasn't even what I was referencing. What I was referencing was I didn't actually get much idea of what was going on because it was the same day that this past story about whatever happened with the fallout between me and old mods. They're no longer in it around. They are, but they're not doing that job, and they've not got problems, so let's not fall out anymore. That'll happen on the same day, and so that's why I made reference to the fact that I don't really know. And so then he came on and clarified things, put in a considered nice reply, talked about my door's ringing as well. I'm going to have to go, guys. I really like him.